Hey friends, so last week I posted some cute DIY collage dividers that I made, and I promised a tutorial, so today I'm going to show you how to make those. So the first thing that we're going to do is start in Canva, and you want to go and create a new design in whatever size planner you are using. I'm using A5 here, but you can use the same process for any size planner, really. Once you have your new design created, you want to go to the Design tab at the very top on the left-hand side and search through the templates. I like to search for either mood board or photo collage. And then basically all I do is scroll through here for a while and add any template that catches my eye as a new page. So I like to have kind of a variety, different layouts, different size photos, and I just add a whole bunch of them because you can always delete them at the end if you end up not liking them. So once you have enough templates or some that you like and maybe want to work with, then you can go and start adding in your photos to those templates. So I usually start with photos that I previously uploaded for another project. I went back through my uploads and found all of my 2022 mood boards, and so I'm going to use those to make a divider of mood boards that I have previously created. So from the uploaded files, you can just drag and drop right onto the document and it'll automatically resize them into the photo squares, which is really nice. But you have a couple of other options too if you don't have anything uploaded or don't feel like uploading things from your computer or from your phone files. So the other thing I like to do is to connect one of my social media accounts. In this case, I'm connecting my planner Instagram to Canva, which will then allow me to select photos that I posted on my planner page and import them directly into Canva to use on these dashboards. So once I have my Instagram all connected, then I just go through and find some photos that I've posted that I think would make for a pretty dashboard in my planner or divider. These are gonna end up being dividers, but you can do the same thing to make them dashboards. So I'm gonna load a bunch of those in there, and then I'll show you my third favorite way to get photos for these dashboards and dividers. Okay, I've got that one all done now. So the third way that I like to add photos is by copying and pasting photos or images directly from Pinterest. So you go to Pinterest and search for whatever it is you want. Here I'm going to search for like moody plants. I think I want one that's like kind of a dark plant type aesthetic. So I'm going to put my search terms in and then look for images that I would like to use on the next divider. So this is one of my favorite ways to find images to use because it's super easy. You just right click, copy, and then paste it right back into Canva on your page. So I'm going to find a photo really quick and copy it, copy the image, go back over to my page and paste it. Do the same thing over and over until I have enough images to fill the page. I just paste them all in there because it takes them a second to upload into Canva, and then I go in and put them in the squares where I want them to go. So let me speed this copying pasting part up really quick. So now I have a whole bunch of images that I've pasted from Canva, and I go in and actually just delete them all from the page because for some reason when you do it this way, it won't let you drag them into the little squares and reshape them automatically. So I delete them all and then go over to my uploads, and there are all the images that I dropped onto the page. From there, I drag and drop them into the little squares to resize them automatically, and then I just adjust them by using the crop tool as needed to make the images look the way that I want to on the dashboard. So here I'm going to crop this one just to bring it down a little bit so I get more of the leaves, and it's super easy. So once you have all of your images placed where you want them to go and cropped, then you can share the project or download the project so that we can do the next step. One thing I just remembered that I want to quickly note is make sure that you are paying attention to whether you are saving with a transparent or a non-transparent background so that you can get the effect that you want on the type of paper or material that you're going to print on. So the next step after I have them downloaded is to upload these images into my project on Cricut Design Space. Now these are some spiral dashboards and dividers that I'd already created for a previous project. These only fit the cloth and paper spiral planners or notebooks. So I just am using that because I already have it set up. I'm actually going to link a template to these in the description below so you can use them if you would like. So I'm going to upload these images to my dividers. And here's the important thing, especially if you're using the cut dividers and you want to put a text label on the divider so it'll print when you do the print and cut part. You want to make sure that the actual cut marks for the spiral on this particular file are not covered. So you want to resize the image so that it is a little bit smaller than the cut marks. Otherwise, when we flatten all of this, it will only do the print and cut part and cut out the outline, but not the actual spiral marks. So I'm going to resize this and play with it for a few seconds. You can kind of see the one over on the right hand side has already been resized so that the cut marks are visible, and the image will only print in that small area, or the area that's a little bit smaller than the actual divider. Also, too, make sure that you are changing your images to print then cut. And then if you want to add some text to your dividers, you can do that. So I go in, find a font that I like, and change the color. Also change the function to print then cut, and then add my text to the dividers. So I'm going to do that really quick. All right, so once I have my label changed, I'm going to go up and rotate it 90 degrees so that it will be vertical on the divider tab. And then I am going to change the operation from print to cut, or from basic cut to print then cut, and then also change the font color to the color that I want. And then basically you just resize everything and then copy and paste or repeat the same process for each of the dividers that you are creating. Okay, so once we have everything aligned and centered and placed where we want it to be on the divider, then we are going to select everything on that divider and click flatten. So this is going to make sure that things are printed on the divider before we cut it. So we're going to do that for all three, and then we're going to send them off to the printer. So we're going to click make it, and then you'll select your machine. And then I'm changing the size of the paper to 8.5 by 11 because I'm actually using 8 by 10 photo paper for the dividers that I am cutting. So I'm going to change the settings around and make sure that it is what it's supposed to be. Then we're going to send it to print. So when I print these, I like to use the system dialog because that allows me to select the print quality and the type of paper that I'm printing on. In my case, I'm printing on glossy photo paper. And you can also add or remove the bleed. I think the add bleed is already selected, but you can remove it here if you would like as well. So when you click print, the system dialog window will actually pop up behind the Cricut window, which you can't see here because my screen capture didn't catch it, but that's where it's at. So I'm going to send it to the printer, print it, I run it through a laminator, and then I line it up on the mat. When you line it up on the mat, make sure that the laminated portion is outside of the grid so that it'll cut correctly. Then I'm going to send it over to the Cricut and cut it. So as far as the settings go, I used a 3mm laminate sheet to laminate, and I have found that the tooling leather setting at the 1.6mm cuts through it perfectly. So that's what I chose, and I send it to cut. Let the Cricut do its thing. Here it's cutting out the spirals, and then when it's all done, I remove it from the sheet and do the same process for the rest of the dividers. So I ended up cutting a couple of types. I did an A5 spiral, which I'm putting into my planner. Actually, this is the executive notebook from Cloth and Paper. So I'm going to pop this divider into there to section out the notebook. And then I also did a A5 rings divider that I'm going to punch and put into another agenda. So I'm going to stick these in here really quick and show you how they kind of turn out. So it works out pretty good, I think, these dividers. And if you want to do just the regular A5 rings dividers or any other planner, then it kind of comes together like this. You just got to put your little hole punch in there. I don't have the holes automatically set on the template for the regular dashboards or regular A5 dividers because I just hole punch them with my little puncher. I like to cut slits in them so that they're easy to pop in and out of the rings and I don't have to keep reopening and closing the rings on my agenda. So I'm going to do that really quick and then I'll pop these in here and show you. So this is how the dashboard turns out if you choose not to do the dividers. And that's it. Let me know if you have questions and tag me if you make them. Take care.